Okay, so we are in middle of Torah Zayin, and Torah Zayin is called Ve'ele HaMishpatim, and we are in middle of Ot Aleph, in middle of the first part of the Torah. And Rabbi Nachman was speaking about how he was giving us this equation, how he says that Emunah equals faith equals miracles, because the whole idea of faith is the belief that Hashem is constantly renewing the world and that things don't happen out of nature as an effect, as a cause and effect process. Things are being constantly created anew, and constantly being brought into existence in each moment. And so when something happens, it's not because of something else that preceded that, and that naturally there's a cause and effect. It's because Hashem created things in this moment in this way. And that's what Emunah is built on. That's what the Emunah is, which is the source for all miracles. The belief that that there is possible for miracles to happen, the whole belief that it's possible for miracles to happen, the whole basis for miracles to happen is the belief that Hashem is constantly renewing everything. And this is also, says Rabbi Nachman, this equals tefillah, prayer. Because you only pray to Hashem if you believe that Hashem is constantly renewing everything and you believe in miracles. Otherwise, there's no place for prayer. Just follow the natural way of doing things or making things happen. And he also explains that this equals, all of these aspects also equal the aspect of Eretz Yisrael. The whole aspect of Eretz Yisrael is miracles, it's faith, it's prayer, emunah, nisim, tefillah. And then he also says that the opposite of this aspect is the aspect of Mitzrayim. The aspect of Mitzrayim, the tumah, the concealment, the impurity of Mitzrayim, is the block of the light of Emunah, the block upon the true reality of what Emunah is, of what Tefillah is, of what Eretz Yisrael is, and of what miracles are, Nisim. And that's why when Moshe Rabbeinu was going to pray to Hashem about the plagues, about stopping the plagues, he says to Paro that when he will leave the city, he will outstretch his arms in prayer to Hashem. And we know that, and so that's a proof that in Mitzrayim itself, he was not able to, in the city itself, he was not able to, because there was a block on prayer and a block on Emunah. We see a proof where Emunah is the aspect of prayer, because when Moshe Rabbeinu, when Bnei Yisrael, when they were waging the war against Amalek, it says that Moshe's arms were outstretched in prayer to Hashem, but the word in the pasuk is not prayer. It says that his hands were emunah. And then Targum comes and translates what does it mean that his hands were emunah? They were outstretched in prayer, explains Targum. And then Rabbi Nachman also spoke about how that when Avraham, on his level, there was a blemish, was a lack, a block in his complete emunah in Hashem. When Hashem promised him that his descendants will inherit the land of Eretz Yisrael, he said, how shall I know that they will inherit this land? How shall I know? So this was a doubt, some lack of absolute confidence, some lack of absolute clear faith in Hashem. And that lack, that concealment, that blemish in the emunah is, says Rabbi Nachman, what brought about that the descendants of Avram, us, Yaakov and his children, had to go into the place which is the place of concealment of emunah, the concealment of prayer. Because Yaakov and his sons represent the prayer itself. We said that there are 12 pathways for the prayer to go, to be elevated, to ascend to the heavens. And these 12 pathways, okay, I'm going to just explain something that we didn't explain in the last class. These 12 pathways represent all of the possible connections of our reality. Okay, so our reality, the physical dimension that we live in this world, has 6 sides to it. We have the 4 directions, and we have the top and the bottom. And the place where each one of these 6 directions connect to one another is 12 points. If you look around the room, if you're sitting in a room that has the ceiling and the floor, and you have 4 directions, you'll see that there are 12 lines that connect each one of these 6 directions. Okay, you have 4 on the top, and you have 4 on the bottom, and you have 4 in the middle. And so 3 times 4 is 12. And so these are the 12 points. They're called 12 Gvulei Anachson in the Zohar, the 4 points of the parallel connections, the diagonal connections that make up our dimension of six directions. And so because all of prayer, what prayer is bringing the light of the supernatural, right? The beyond the natural limitations, the light of Hashem, and elevating and bringing and connecting, bringing that light of renewal, right? That Hashem is constantly bringing everything into existence, bringing it into these 6 directions that make up the physical dimension. And these 6 directions, as we said, have the 12 lines. So that's why the whole idea of prayer has 12 pathways. 12 pathways of prayer are representing these 6 directions, because that's what prayer is. Prayer is taking this physical that has 12 points and connecting it to the spiritual. That's what the prayer is. So it has 12 pathways. And Yaakov is that emunah, and his children, the 12 tribes, represent 12 pathways through which that emunah is brought into the world, and it elevates this physical world to that level of revelation, which will be revealed in its completion, in its perfection, when Mashiach comes, when the redemption, the ultimate redemption comes. But that's what the 12 tribes represent. And now when Avram Avinu had a doubt, okay, and that was a blemish in his faith, when he said, how shall I know that they will inherit the land of emunah, the land of tefillah, of prayer, of faith, the land of miracles? So that caused that his descendants that represent prayer went into the place of concealment. Okay, and this is what all exile, the exile that we're all in, and every personal exile that a person is in, is all about this. It's about a lack of faith. And that's what Rabbi Nachman starts the Torah off by saying. When there's a lack of faith, there's a block for that sustenance, for that light, for that vitality to come through. Because that vitality comes through the faith that we have in Hashem. And when there's a block in that faith consciousness, then there's a block for that light, that sustenance to come through, and that's when we're put into exile. And exile, what is exile? Exile is the complete opposite of that revelation. The complete opposite, the place where there's a concealment, where it seems like things happen because of physical and natural causes, and that's the source for all limitation. That's the source for all blocks. That's the source for all the walls that we feel, all the resistance that we feel, all the suffering that we feel is from that concealment. But when we are in that concealment, in that exile, we seek the light of the emunah, and we find the truth, and we strengthen and clarify the truth that there is no wall. And even though it feels that way, but there is no wall, there is no concealment, there is no limitation. And even in this darkest of darkest experience that I'm experiencing, Hashem is right here, right now. Ultimate, complete perfection is here. All of peace, that peace of Hashem is here, that perfection is here, and we clarify that, and we feel that, and we experience it. We bring it not only from a some sort of intellectual understanding, we actually bring it into a feeling of the heart, and we let that spread throughout our whole DNA, our cells, our molecules experience this truth of this emunah, then even in the darkness of the exile, we find the redemption. And that's what redemption is all about. It's not about taking us from one place and putting us somewhere else physically. It's about removing the walls and removing the concealment, and everything where we are standing is revealed. It's revealed. The light is revealed. The solution is revealed. The recovery is revealed. The complete health is revealed. The complete all of the abundance is revealed where you're standing. Okay, that's what it's all about. So let's continue now in this Torah. It says, Rabbi Nachman, וזה שאמרו חכמינו זיכרונם לברכה, אין משיח בן דוד בא, אלא עד שתכלה פרוטה מן הכיס. היינו, שיכלו האפיקורסים שאין להם אמונה בניסים, ומכסים כל הניסים בדרך הטבע, כי עיקר הניסים בארץ ישראל, כי ארץ ישראל שותה תחילה, ושתייתם מהתהומות, שהם נשון בתהום כל העיר, שעל דבר ניסי תמהין העולם. וזהו, תהום אל תהום קורא, כי יש ניסין עילאין, שהוא בחינת תהום עילאה, ויש ניסין תתאין, שהם בחינת תהומה תתאה. ומלאך שכלול מכל הניסים משני התהומות דמיה לעגלה, שהוא בחינת עיגולים, בחינת אמונה, כמו שכתוב, אמונתך סביבותיך, ופריטה ספבתי, שהוא בחינת תפילה, כמו שכתוב, אדוני שפתי תפתח, והוא כללות הניסים. וזה פירוש עד שתכלה פרוטה מן הכיס, כי יש בני אדם המכסים כלליות הניסים, הכלולים במלאך תפריטה ספבתי, מכסים בדרך הטבע, או שתכלה זאת ותתרבה אמונה בעולם, אז יבוא משיח, כי עיקר הגאולה תלוי בזה, כמו שכתוב, תבואי תשורי מראש המנה. Okay, so this is a little bit of an interesting, very, very deep point that Rabbi Nachman is going to make here. He says like this. Okay, the Gemara says that Eretz Yisrael drinks first, meaning that before the whole world gets the rain that it gets, before the whole world gets its drink, its water, which is what causes everything to grow, and water in the Torah represents all of the sustenance. All of the parnasa is represented by the water, by the rain. And Eretz Yisrael drinks first. It gets its sustenance before everyone else in the world. And where does it get its sustenance? So the Gemara says that it drinks. Where does it drink from? It drinks from the waters, the underground waters. Okay, the waters in the Tehom. Okay, the waters in the depths of the earth. That's where it drinks from. And so Rabbi Nachman brings proof from this that Eretz Yisrael he brings another proof. He brought proof before, but now he's giving us another point of proof that Eretz Yisrael is this aspect of miracles. And the fact that the Gemara says that Eretz Yisrael gets its sustenance from the waters in the depths of the earth, the Tehom, and that word tehom, the depths, is a word that also means wonder. Okay, because it says in the pasuk vatehom kol ha'ir. It's a pasuk in Ruth where it says that the whole city was in amazement. They were all amazed and in wonder. And the word that the pasuk uses is vatehom. Okay, and so from here we see that the tehom, the depths, the water in the depths of the earth, the tehom represents these miracles. And so when it says that Eretz Yisrael drinks from the waters in the depths, from the tehom, its sustenance is from the waters in the depths, it is telling us that Eretz Yisrael is this aspect of miracles, of wonderment, of amazement. Okay, what is beyond what I'm physically and naturally used to. That's what Eretz Yisrael is. And Rabbi Nachman says that there are two types of miracles. Okay, he says there are the upper miracles and the lower miracles. And he doesn't go into it much here, but I think that what we can say is that even the Maharal speaks about this. The Lubavitcher Rebbe obviously brings it up in a few of his sikhs, how there are miracles that are miracles like the Yetziat Mitzrayim, where Hashem completely broke any sign, any aspect of nature. He completely shattered anything, any of the natural laws, with the 10 plagues, with taking us out of Mitzrayim, with the splitting of the sea. He completely shattered any memory, any sign of nature whatsoever, anything to do with nature. He completely broke all of the laws of nature in those miracles. Okay, those are what's called the upper miracles. Okay, it's a miracle that's completely beyond. Also, when we received the Torah, Hashem showed us things at that time that completely shattered any possibility to explain it according to nature. It was completely beyond nature. Okay, but then there's also miracles like the miracle of Purim, where the miracle when Hashem saved us from Achashverosh, where those miracles were within the law. They kind of seemed like things were happening naturally, but they were being guided supernaturally. They were being guided by Hashem, and He was making the cause and effect was moving in a direction that Hashem saved us from that difficult decree, from that difficult situation, but it seemed like it was within cause and effect, right, within nature. So those are the lower miracles. They're still miracles, but the lower miracles. That's, I think, one way to see the difference between higher miracles and lower miracles. Rabbi Nachman doesn't say that here, but I'm just putting that in parentheses. That's an insight that could be one way to see this, what is called upper miracles and lower miracles. But there are these two types of miracles. And then Rabbi Nachman says that there is a certain angel, a certain malach, that is, his essence is to deliver these miracles. His essence is this revelation of these miracles. And he is included, he is made up of both of these types of miracles, the upper miracles and the lower miracles. And Rabbi Nachman says that this malach, this angel that is included, he encompasses all these miracles, the upper miracles and the lower miracles. He brings a Gemara that says that his appearance is that of an ox, an egel. Okay? But the word for the Gemara says about that, and edamya le'egla defrita sifevate. His appearance is that of an ox whose lips are split. Okay? So Rabbi Nachman says that the word for the Gemara uses for ox, egla, also has the connotation, egla, as igul. Igul means in Hebrew a circle. And Rabbi Nachman points out, okay, that the whole circular way of thinking, as opposed to linear is cause and effect, circular is all about belief, it's all about trust, it's all about emunah. Okay, and he brings a pasuk. The pasuk in Tehillim says, "Ve'emunatecha sevivotecha," and your faith encircles you. So from here, he proves that faith is this circular way of thinking. It's not the linear. It's not the cause and effect. It's not the natural. And so that's why this malach that encompasses the upper and lower miracles, his appearance is that of an egla. Egla sounds like the word igul, because he is the aspect of faith, miracles. And also, his lips are split. His lips are split. That is a reference to prayer that we say, Adonai sfatai tiftach. Please Hashem, open my lips. Okay? So it's about now Rabbi Nachman, now that he proved to us this point about Eretz Yisrael being the place of miracles, because it drinks from the depths, the tehom, which is amazement, wonderment, and about this angel that encompasses the upper miracles and the lower miracles, whose appearance is that of an ox, an egel, which means it has a connotation of emunah, and also it has these split lips that is a reference to prayer. So we have Eretz Yisrael. Okay, nisim, miracles. Eretz Yisrael, drinking from the depths, which is the place, which is tehom, which means also wonder. amazement, miracles, and we have this angel that encompasses the upper and lower miracles, who has the appearance of an egel, which is circular, emunah. So Eretz Yisrael, miracles, emunah, and the lips of this angel, which is prayer. All the four parts of the equation that we spoke about. And now Rabbi Nachman takes all of this and he says, the Gemara tells us, when is Mashiach going to come? The Mashiach is going to come when En Mashiach ben David ba ela ad shetichle pruta min hakis. It's a Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin. The Mashiach, the descendant of David, will be revealed. He will come and he will deliver us when the last penny is gone from the pocket. That's the literal translation. Ad shetichle pruta min hakis. When the last penny is gone from the pocket, meaning there will be terrible lack of money, of sustenance. That's one way of understanding that Gemara. Rabbi Nachman explains it differently. He says, what does it mean? The words literally, tichle pruta min hakis, until pruta means a penny, is lost, gone, tichle min hakis, from the pocket. But the literal translation for the word pocket, kis, also means a concealment, michse, a covering. Okay, michse is a covering, a concealment. So he says, when is Mashiach ben David going to come? When it will be gone, the concealment from the pruta. Pruta is also what they describe that malach that represents the miracles. The malach whose lips are split, it said, the frita sifivate. Prita sifivate. The word prita sounds like pruta. Okay? His lips are split. So what is it telling us? The Gemara is telling us that the redemption, the Geula, is going to come, the Mashiach is going to come when it is going to be gone, those people that cover up, they conceal all of the miracles by explaining away all of the miracles with cause and effect, with natural causes. Okay? When the concealment of miracles is gone, when that is gone, that's when Mashiach will be revealed. And this is what the whole point of this Torah is. This is what Rabbi Nachman starts off the Torah by telling us. He's telling us that all of exile is only because a covering, a concealment of faith, a covering of miracles. By explaining the miracles by cause and effect, that there are no miracles. Everything happens by cause and effect, by nature. It's not because Hashem is constantly creating everything and bringing everything into existence. So when that concealment, when those people that conceal all and cover up all of the miracles with cause and effect, with natural causes, when that is removed, when that is gone, and the emunah is strengthened and increased in a clear way and spread throughout the whole world, which is something I think that we're seeing on some level, as much as the concealment of the emunah is growing throughout the world, and there are so many people and so many ways of thinking that everything is cause and effect and everything is natural, okay? And a lot of people are even explaining the supernatural as natural, okay? But on the other hand, there's a lot of spreading and increasing of emunah throughout the world that we are seeing. So what do I mean by when I said that there's a lot of people that are even explaining the supernatural by natural? A lot of people are explaining the supernatural by natural, for example, the law of attraction. They just say it's a law in the universe. It's a physical law in the universe. And if you think this way, then this is the way things are going to happen. Okay? So that's a law. If you say that it's a law in the physical, in the natural way of the universe, then you're explaining the supernatural is natural. Everything is natural just because you think this way and you act this way and you do this, and it's all cause and effect. Okay? On the other hand, we have the emunah in Hashem that's growing. Yeah. So, did you want to say something? No? Okay. So, the emunah, and the most important aspect of emunah, as Rabbi Nachman points out here, is the emunah that Hashem is constantly bringing everything into existence. Chidush ha'olam, He's constantly renewing everything. Everything's being created in each moment.
Making the natural actually supernatural.
What?
Making the natural
The natural
supernatural.
supernatural. That's exactly
Right.
that's the opposite. And so when that grows, and when that grows in a clear way, and that's revealed, that's when Mashiach is going to come. Shall we stop here? I think we should stop here. That's the end of Ot Aleph. That's the end of part 1 of this Torah. Okay.